Hey Geek, so I've been seeing a lot of videos here recently talking about overheating issues, specifically with the Panasonic S1R2 and Panasonic S12. And so today I wanted to do a video about that because I myself am a Lumix user and owner. So the first one I had is this right here, the Panasonic G85 Micro Four Thirds camera. This was really a great camera and it had everything I basically wanted except for reliable video autofocus, and that has been basically the biggest problem with Panasonic for many years. But Panasonic has fixed that, and I have this one right here, the Panasonic S5 2X full frame camera. This is an amazing camera, plus it finally has reliable video autofocus. But the one thing that honestly I never found a problem with, or have not heard about it very much, is overheating issues with these Panasonic cameras. Because for most people, the main problem is the video autofocus. Rarely have I seen a lot of people talk about overheating issues, because that's one thing that Panasonic does really well. And these are the type of cameras that you could really use in practically every situation. And it's one of those workhorse cameras that you could just use and use without having to worry about things until now, where we now have overheating issues. So I wanted to talk about that from somebody who actually uses this camera and from somebody who is not a professional. I'm just an everyday user who does these type of videos. And so I wanted to give you my thoughts on it, just in case you saw these overheating issues and you might be wondering whether or not it is worth getting. All right, so before I talk about this further, I am switching cameras. So I was just using my DJI Osmo Pocket 3, an amazing little pocket camera. But now we're on the S5 2X, and let's go ahead and continue with this conversation. Because if you are looking at these cameras and you're wondering, should I get these because they overheat? Let me just give you some of my general thoughts on this as somebody who has been using Lumix cameras, and like I said, not as a professional. So I think for a lot of these videos, the use cases for the S1R2, S12, what they're primarily talking about here is more professional use, meaning that these cameras you're going to be using all the time in more extreme conditions. Because for an average everyday person, shooting these type of videos, going outside, vlogging, just basically any normal type of videos, I don't think you're going to be experiencing these type of overheating issues. Now, there are a lot of things that goes into it. Your temperature, the CF Express cards, how you use your camera is going to be the most important thing. And so all of those things become a factor. And whenever you're seeing these overheating videos, all these tests that they're doing, just look at the conditions that they're using it in, the conditions, and also how they're using it. And more often than not, they're using it in more extreme professional situations. And that's when it overheats, specifically with the S1R2, although the S12 does reach those overheating issues as well. And the thing is, practically every camera can overheat given the conditions and given how you use your cameras. But I think for the everyday person shooting these type of videos, the Lumix cameras, they're just awesome. I mean, they are built to work. They're built to last, and they're built to weather really, really extreme conditions. And that's one thing that I feel Panasonic just does so well, besides giving so many features for your money. And I would say the best value in multiple camera categories. The one thing that I still feel Panasonic does so well is overall reliability in practically every situation. Now, obviously, if you are a professional and you are shooting in these extreme conditions, then obviously this is something that's going to be really important to you, and you can't have your cameras failing whenever you're shooting these videos where you're getting paid for it. However, for the vast majority of people, I don't think you're going to have real world issues with overheating with these cameras. So if you actually had any thoughts on these cameras or any other cameras that you've used, be sure to leave in the comments area below. And if you did want to see my previous videos on my S5 2X or even my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 or my older G85, I will leave links in the description area below. So as always, if you did get value out of these videos, be sure to share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you on another episode.